Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so for today, I wanted to explain the weekly watch list that I have. Definitely posted all over the servers. Everybody has the watch list levels and the tickers. So I'm gonna run by these tickers and kind of explain my thought process on all of these and what I plan to do and how I plan to trade these. Okay. The first one, make sure you guys are taking notes too, please, or just follow along in the server that you're in. UPST, CRM, HD, Low, Starbucks, Trip, PG, AAL, and Uber. For some of these plays, I'm already in some swing plays for HD, Uber, Starbucks, and Low, Trip, a couple other more, PG. So I kind of just want to give you guys an idea as to what my perspective is on some of these setups that I want to be able to explain to you guys. And when it comes to zone trading, okay, I already made a video for you guys talking about zones and how to chart. I will definitely get into some more in-depth description on how to properly chart still, because I know a lot of people still have so many questions. Okay, so I put UPST on here because it has a nice base and it has a nice setup. Now, somebody asked me in one of the recent YouTubes as to how do you look at zones when it becomes like a new IPO and things like that. And the answer to that is sometimes you just really need a lot of history in order to create like a good demand, a good supply, something that's going to hold a value. Okay, because when it comes to demand, the demand is the value of a stock. Okay, the level that it's in. When it comes to supply, it's not much of a value, but it's an area where people just start taking profits and they don't want to buy at those high levels. Okay, so this one is a perfect example as to something that is creating some type of value for itself, and you can literally still use these pattern setups as supply and demand, and it's okay because demand is basically going to be your support levels, and then supply is going to be your resistance levels. Okay, so from here, UPST, I'm sure you guys can go search it out of what this company is, but it's a financial, it's a lending type of company, which everybody knows that everybody out there has credit cards. So these guys are definitely, helping people pay off their credit cards and things like that, because uh, we like to spend a lot of money, and sometimes it's not our own money. We like to grab those credit cards and bring up our bills and then take this monthly bill as to like $50 a month, but yet you're in debt like 20K and 30K and then so forth, right? So this company, that's what they do. So technically this is a great company that pays off a lot of debt, that helps a lot of people pay off debt. So it's pretty cool, but you guys can go search that stuff out. So anyways, here what I see on UPST is that the earnings are all pretty much have been great. Okay, here's the first one, and then here's the second one. The second one was pretty awesome as well, as you can see here. And then the next day, right after that, it just dropped. But it did use this specific level, for a good support as well, and then made it like a little double bottom here. So this double bottom brought it up to this 191.89 level. Okay, so this is what I want you to take note of. So whenever you look at these stocks, it's not always looking at the setup, but always wondering what happened previously with uh, the characteristics and how it got there, right? And the reason as to why it's trending and the reason as to why it might become a demand. The demand doesn't necessarily have to be way down here. It can be up here. It can be here. I mean, it can be anywhere. It's just a matter of somebody out there wanting to buy this specific ticker. So with that being said, you have support here, you have an interest of buyers in this specific stock, and now the question is going to be like, where is the next area where they're going to start buying? Well, if you take a look, you have this nice double bottom. We went to 191.89 and we finally got a pullback. So this pattern is called a drop, okay, base, and it can be a rally or it can be a drop. So the pattern, when this plays out, when this range break happens, it's going to start right here at this 128. Okay, 128.50, 129. This is the area where it's going to pop and it's going to create a drop base rally or a drop base drop. Okay, the levels are posted on the watch list: 128.50, 129 top alerts. So you definitely want to set these alerts. Okay, go here. Okay, and then just hit that create alert. Okay, see, so and then your target's going to be 138.50, 139 to the high of 144.64. And all I'm doing is just grabbing these tops over here. Okay, these here, and then same thing for the bottom. Once we start breaking this 115.30 and 117, this is when we're going to start going looking for the bottom of 105. You know, basically here where we found some support here. We broke down from here. We also broke down, and in here we broke to the top and then confirmed this top from the top of like 107 area. So look for that on UPST. The next one would be CRM. So CRM, right after earnings, this thing ended up trending up. And again, just kind of like I explained, you have the opposite effect on this one. You have a rally base. Okay, this can potentially rally or it can potentially drop. Okay, so this is why I like these type of plays, because they all can be swing plays, and you're definitely ready for the range alerts. Okay, so that 246 area, that 245, once we start breaking that, we're definitely looking for that 250 psychological number, which is right here. And then you want to look for like every $5 to the top and things like that. You want to look for this 254 255 area, even the high of 260, or even testing this 270 pretty soon. I'm not saying that can happen within the next couple of days, but it can potentially lead up to that point. Okay, and then the bottom of this 235.65, 236 area, down to the downside. Of course, we don't want to forget about the downside. So remember, this is a rally base rally or a rally base drop. Once we come down, we'll definitely hit this level. If it wants to keep going, then it'll definitely continue to the 230 level. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's CRM. Okay, remember that the watch list is posted in Conservative Collectors chat. So the next one is HD. For this one, I did post already. We are in a swing as well. We are in the 315 calls. Okay, so look at that crazy volume that came in on Friday. For a lot of the swings that we entered, there was some intense volume that came in on Friday close. I think it was just literally all across the board. I did notice that a few tickers did not get any of this volume, but definitely the ones that we ended up swinging did get these type of volume. So same thing here. Okay, so hopefully by the end of the video, you guys know what a rally base rally is. Okay, here's your rally base. It could be a rally, it could be a drop. Okay, either one. All right, so that's the target with HD. Okay, once we start breaking the 315, we're definitely going to start coming here to this 316.80. We're going to look for 319 to the high of 321 area. And then potentially, if we get any catalyst or any momentum that's a little crazy or chaotic, you look for 327. Start taking profit around 325. All this in this area, okay? Also for the downside, you guys can, do some homework to the downside, and I would look for, something like this. So the 307 area, even 308 and 310, okay? So something like that. All right, the next one is low. As you guys can see, they kind of have the similar pattern, HD low, and it's the same thing. Rally base, it's either we're going to rally or we're going to drop. But low actually showed a lot of strength right at close, okay? So same thing with HD. See, the volume that came in was pretty high compared to the past few days. That just tells me that there's a lot of buyers interested in low at these specific levels down here with a rally base rally or a rally base drop again, okay? The drop can lead all the way back down to this area, okay, of like 188.50. So the break above is going to be like the 193 if you guys are a little safer with the whole number. I don't know what the market pre-market's gonna look like, but these levels will not change. Okay, as long as it's above this like 192, 192.70 and 193, we're good to go long. Okay, so don't be afraid to enter this and take it to the top side. One of the first targets is going to be like this 194, 194.50, 194.80, 195.20, and then we're looking for the high of like 196. Okay, this is my first target for the swing play if this thing continues to trend. Low is not a crazy mover, so be a little more patient with it. We are in the 192.50 calls as well. Definitely load up on a little more if we continue to go up and to hit this target of 196. Again, if this thing moves with momentum and there's some catalyst, please, the next target would be around this 198. Don't be afraid to go long. Now, I'm not saying to, start buying and go crazy, but definitely trail it. The minute you start getting any of these positions and you're green, trail it. If you're still green, trail it. Okay, so your stop loss will be moved up. If he wants to keep going, move your stop loss. If he wants to keep going again, move your stop loss until it hits. Once it comes back down, you're already green, right? If it keeps coming down, you're still green and you're not in the position anymore, and it's okay. All right. So once it starts reversing, you can definitely re-enter at those same levels that were given on the watch list. Okay, so watch that out for low. Okay, so the next one is going to be Starbucks. All right, here's a nice clean chart. This has been a nice trend. It finally got a nice little pullback here, and then here it ended up breaking this little trend line to the top side. So that's what caught my attention on Starbucks. Here on Friday, we confirmed. Look, even this volume, like I said, a lot of the swings that were already in, it created a lot of volume on these tickers. And if you go look across the board, some of these tickers don't have this much volume. But anything can happen in this market. I mean, we can literally gap down, we can gap up to the moon. Whatever the market wants to do, it's going to do it with or without us. Whether we're in it or not, it will still do it. Okay, so remember that. So just because something breaks trend, it doesn't mean that it has to continue. It can definitely be like a nice pop, a momentum pop, and then come back down real fast. Okay, that's just what this market does to us. But therefore, we have stop losses, and we stop loss in the green. If not, we cut loss at a small percentage when it makes sense. Okay. So for this one, for Starbucks, as long as we're over 113 and 113.20, this little area, we want to make sure to trail it all the way to 113.70, and it's a smaller ticker, so smaller targets are given. I don't expect this thing to go parabolic, but again, if it does, I won't stop it. I will just trail it. Okay, the next target 114.50, just the top of this. If it wants to continue, definitely look for 115.50 and look for 116, and then look for 116.78, look for 117. I mean, look for 118, even that this top level over here. And again, I'm not saying that can happen in 1 week, but keep that in mind that it can definitely continue to trend change and continue up. Otherwise, below 113, I wouldn't be in it. I don't want it to go below 113, and that's kind of where it currently is at right now. Okay, so that's Starbucks, and here is Trip. Trip is more of a economic recovery type of stock. Okay, it's Trip Advisor. I'm sure you guys can go look into what the company is about. But what it is, it's basically because of the market sentiment. The market has been a little chaotic, and a lot of people talk about inflation, and they talk about we need a stronger pullback. I mean, there's all kinds of bearish talks out there, all kinds of bullish talks. But again, it's not about opinion. Okay, it's not about what we think is happening, but it's all about the value that we see as investors. When we see the value in a company, we want to look at it to find a good deal. When we find a good deal, we find a good setup along with it, which creates a nice bullish momentum with a trend change in that specific stock. If you have some economic good news and you have something to back up the chart pattern and to give it that extra boost, to take it that direction, whether it's bearish or bullish, then it's okay to be a little biased, but also remember that you have to be cautious as to what is happening, and you got to manage risk. You can't just, say, hey, this is going to recover soon, and then start buying leaps, when in reality, this thing might drop to the floor and you're still bag holding because you got a little bias. Okay. So there's a lot of things that come hand in hand with, what I was just explaining. So what I see here on the chart that matters the most to me, even though I have a nice economic recovery type of stock here that has potential to drive, it doesn't have to. This chart will do what it wants. And our goal, again, is to grab the breakout levels and to follow the understanding of the demand that's happening here. So as you can see here, there is a lot of support here. There was support here. It kept getting bought up. It went to the high of 45.50. Okay, so that's my first actual target for this specific stock. And we are in, I believe, those calls as well. um, but this is not like one of those crazy movers as well. It's something that's just going to be a little more slower, and but it can definitely hit that target. So with that being said, I am looking for this trend change to continue here. We are closed right here at this 42.37 area. I don't know why there shows a nice red candle on the 4-hour, but it does show it. I guess that's fine as long as we're still above that 42.37. The bid and ask ended up at 42.11, 42.39. So I guess we're just gonna have to see where this opens. So as long as we can go above 42.60, okay, on the high, it'll continue. Since we are in that position as a lotto play, I don't expect a lot from this, but as long as we can hold above 42 and 42.60, we should be okay for this to start trend changing and potentially see some movement to the top side. So one of the first targets that I have for this is 43. 43.50. I put 44, and then 44.30, which is about here, and then the high of 45, of course. So I just wanted to hit all these resistance levels and just trend to the top side. All right. So that's TRIP. Here is PG. PG is Procter and Gamble. If you guys go look at your Colgate toothpaste, you will see the name PG. It's pretty awesome. They are a big company, so this stock is like a slower mover, but it can definitely give us some nice profits. But again, if you can see here, the volume was pretty intense, and we are basically in the money of like 134.92. We have 135 calls that we picked it up around 134. For those who were late, probably ended up being green anyways, just because towards the end of the day it did get posted. So we're gonna have to just see where it's at. Okay. So for this one, same thing. It's a slower mover, but it's a stock of value that found support right here. Okay, and the cool part is that higher lows. Okay, and then here. So 1, 2, 3, and we're continuing to go up. The only problem with this one is that if this doesn't continue in the next like 2 to 3 weeks, we have a lot of resistance at 138, 139. Okay, and we'll just use the whole number 139. Based on all this here, all this price action here was a little bearish that brought this stock down all the way to the 121.54. So keeping that in mind, we do have a lot of resistance right here at this 135. Okay, this is why I had a target of 135, and then the 139. This whole level right here is resistance. So if this PG can hold above 135, I will most likely trail it all the way to the 137 and to the high of 139. I'm definitely not going to ride it all the way to 139. I want to just take it up to that 137 and be cautious above 137, okay? So once we hit that 137 for this slower mover, we'll definitely move the trail stop up and can be a little more aware that we're heading into an area of supply, some major supply, and the next breakout is going to be this 139. So once we break 139, we'll definitely start shooting up, but for right now, we're kind of just holding in between, and we definitely could see PG just trend up at least to this 137, which therefore we will be taking profit on our positions, even if we go to 136, 136.30, 136.50, anywhere in between here. We just want to make sure that we're green. So we go green, we move the trail stop up. If it wants to keep going, we move it up again. We move it up again, and we just do that consistently. So you can definitely use these for day trades, as long as you trail it and trail stop in the green. Okay, so that's a little more insight on PG. Since the contracts are already green, don't let them go red. Okay. Okay, for the next one, AAL. So airlines. I think everybody's been watching airlines the past like few weeks. They've been waiting for, a reversal. I think there's a lot of talk for bullish plays coming in soon. And the awesome part about this is that honestly, it looks a little bearish. Okay. And this is when I like to grab these plays, because while everybody else out there is bearish, I'm looking for the bullish play. That's kind of what, the sayings are. It's buy low, sell high. When everybody's out there, freaking out that it's going to be a super bearish market, I'm already looking for the next bullish setup and the trend reversals, and to give me a reason, to take this certain stock to the long side, just because everybody out there is so bearish. So that's the difference, on how to view some things in the market, but also look for a reason to take this long, right? In this case, just like I'm saying, a lot of these patterns are, drop base drop, drop base rally. And by the end of this video, you guys should know what a drop base is, okay? Here's your drop, here's your base, okay? It's either going to rally from here or it's going to drop from here. Now, the one thing about AAL, I really don't want to go short on this, okay? The reason for that is that look at all this price action here, okay? This is a huge amount of buyers that are just waiting for this stock to come down a little bit more, because this buyer here is most likely going to show up somewhere in here, okay, if it drops. This same buyer here will show up right here, and they're probably starting to load up already. If it doesn't come down, most likely we'll see a rally. The first target to the top, 23. Second target up top, 23.68, 23.70, 24, 24.30, and you're looking for the highs up here too. Now this thing dropped because it created like a double top, okay? And then it is just staircase pattern down with a nice base now, and now we're looking for value. These are the areas that become value, become demand on a bigger time frame when you zoom out, and you're able to hold this position just a bit much more longer than most traders can, just for the reason that we created a nice demand at this specific level, and we're right above this, okay? So this is why I don't want to short it. I don't want to short it because we're coming against all these buyers here. If for some reason AAL decides to drop to the bottom here, okay, because definitely this pattern can go drop, base, drop. If it decides to go to this 20.90 or 21, I will buy a long position here, okay, because of all this support here. All it's saying is that it's dropping from the top, right, from the top of this base 22 all the way down to 21, and that's $1 drop, and it'd be a heavy drop, and this is where I would like to buy long, okay? If that doesn't happen, I'm just waiting for my alerts over 22.50, and I'm looking for this to just start trending back up. Otherwise, I am not trading the short side, okay? You guys can, by all means. I highly don't recommend it, but again, there's nothing wrong with making money to the downside, but that is on you, all right? Also watch DAL, UAL, LUV, and BA for some confirmation of airlines trends, okay? I'm sure they all have some nice setups too. I just decided to choose AAL because it fits anybody's account size, okay? So for the last one, I have Uber on the watch list, which again, all these levels, guys, all the breakout levels, the targets, everything is on there. If you guys just stop into Conservative Collectors, the watch list is there, and definitely posted we'll be posting on the Instagrams. I mean, this watch list is going to be posted everywhere since this YouTube is going to be out, in the public. So why not, right? Everybody's here to make a little profit. Everybody's here to learn and grow. Continue on this journey of trading, and how difficult it may be. We are not people who are going to give up. We want to be a little more financially free, and we have some goals that we all want to meet, and therefore we're sitting here and doing the best we can to learn and continually execute trades, win or lose. Okay, just remember, manage risk. Don't bag hold nothing that you shouldn't be. Start taking profit a little over 20 to 30%. We're not here to get rich. We're here to understand why we're taking these trades in this market. Okay, so with Uber, it had a nice little channel down, and it bounced right here at this level, at this 48. So ever since the 48, it caught a lot of momentum to this top side right here, and it's closing in strong right on top of supply. This is your supply when it comes to some ranges. Okay, this is your whole area of supply. So from 5090 all the way to the top of that 5164 or 65, whatever. What I want to see is that we're right on top. We're at 5173. I want to see this stock continue to this target of 53. Okay, the target is this 53 based on this little price action right here. Okay, price action right here that got bought up, and then the bounce that just went fluctuating right here because of earnings. But nonetheless, there was a little bit of price action here, and it confirmed the top right there. Okay, that 54. And then that's where we kind of just played around before we ended up dropping. Okay, so I really would love to see Uber back at this level, and once it reclaims this level, it definitely has all this room to run. Like you're talking about from the 61 all the way to 54.60. That's a huge area that Uber can start trending in. And again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen this week unless something crazy happens, with a catalyst and some news overnight, and then we open up like way over here. But that's kind of rare. It would be nice to see Monday morning because we can get a nice little short entry, take it down. But if we were in calls, it'd be even more amazing, right? But that's not the case. We're not here for wishful thinking, right? So we're just going to follow these levels, guys. Make sure you guys continue to monitor these and set alerts. Just because I have a target here doesn't mean I have to hit. Okay, any target that is given, any entry level that is given, they're not all 100%. Okay, these are all supply and demand. Anything can happen in this market, guys. This market can gap up, can gap down. It can do what it wants. Remember, please, don't come in here and thinking that, hey, I'm gonna enter long over 51.60 and then I'm gonna stop out way down here, and you're bag holding something that's not moving up your way. Okay, when you enter, all right, if you have a small account, make it at least 10 to 15% stop loss. Okay, if you want to go by percentage. If not, follow the chart itself and try to get the best entry in the chart. I personally do not care for percentages. What I care for is that I follow the move as much as possible and I trail stop in the green. Okay, if I have to cut loss, it'll be when the trend changes on the pattern. Okay, if the trend change has not happened to the opposite direction of my stock, then I have no reason to stop out. Okay, but therefore creating a bigger loss because trading options, it's not fun. When you're in the red, when a trade goes against you, 10%, depending on how many contracts you bought, can lead up to 1K to 2K loss, depending on how many you got in. But also your wins can lead up to 2K to 3K to 5K gains, depending on how much you got in with. So everything just depends on your position size and how much you are able to handle on your account. So everything fluctuates, guys. Don't come in here and think everything is that easy or that simple. It's very difficult when you're in that moment, guys. And when you enter that trade, it becomes a emotional balance within yourself when you start to see a little red candle here, a huge green candle there, and that can lead to you guys not managing risk properly. But with these strategies, you guys can definitely trail stop things. Okay, and I'll definitely make more videos when it comes to trail stops and things like that, using time frames. anything of that nature, I'll definitely start posting more videos soon. So expect a lot more videos coming in, guys. Don't think that this is just going to be, a short-term thing. Look for it as a long-term thing and continue to share these YouTube videos, continue to share on the Instagrams. I mean, as much as possible, guys. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the support. I hope you guys learned something today with supply and demand on the drop-based rally, whichever one it may be. Told you guys by the end of this video, you guys should definitely know what those patterns look like and what a range break is going to be. A lot of these plays, guys, are swing trades. So when you enter, make sure you trail it to the top. If it doesn't hit the target, make sure it doesn't drop all the way. It needs to hold its gains in order for it to continue. Okay, if it doesn't hold gains, you're going to trail stop out. You're going to stop out in the green. And then you're just going to wait another day. But use the same levels all week. The levels that are given are there for the whole week. All right, remember that, please. So enough of that. Gave you guys a little rant. So hopefully you guys are digging these videos. So please comment, like in the video, subscribe, do what you guys got to do, invite family and friends, whatever you guys got to do. As long as everybody is learning and growing in this trading communities that we have, definitely please be involved. So don't be afraid to DM us. We're at Conservative Collectors. Jay the Trader, we thank him. He does a lot for us. So look forward to a lot more growth. All right, guys. So remember the list. I'm going to go give you guys the watch list names again that were given. And I'm going to end it here, okay? So it's going to be UPST, CRM, HD, LOW, LOW, Starbucks, SBUX, TRIP, PG, AAL, and Uber. All right, guys. So hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully you guys all can catch some real good trades, and we'll definitely do a recap maybe Wednesday or Thursday depending on the way things are going. So all right, guys, good luck, stay green, and make sure to manage positions properly.